In a world where beloved intellectual properties are forced to be alone and kept separate from one another against their will, two men intend to break them free of this oppressive regime and bring these franchises together through the medium of crossover fanfiction. This is Crossover Quest!
Hello again and welcome to Crossover Quest with me, William, and Ali.
That's me?
Yep, that's him. And we're going to be doing another story this week for you.
Two stories.
Well, a story each, I guess. Yeah. So tell them what we're doing.
We're doing Star Wars and Sex and the City.
Yay! So, two big franchises and we're going to do a story each. We've both prepared stories beforehand. Thoroughly prepared and you know, researched. I'm guessing you did research? I did loads of research.
I was okay for research. I think I knew them both well enough. Like, I didn't need that much from Sex and the City.
Right, okay. So, should we talk about them then, I guess? The next thing we do. Yeah. So, which one first? Star Wars?
You want to talk about Star Wars?
Let's talk about Star Wars.
What do you like Star Wars?
I love Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars is good, isn't it?
We did this last week a little bit, but I suppose this is we kind of preempted this bit. But yeah, of course. We both love Star Wars because it's really, really good. It's the best sci-fi series probably ever made.
Which is your favourite Star Wars? That's a good question to ask.
That's a very good question. Probably Jedi, Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, probably.
I thought you had to say Empire.
Everyone says you have to say Empire. But, you know, I like the Ewoks. I like the Battle of Endor.
You like all the shit that people say they don't like about Star Wars.
Actually, Battle of Endor, is that...
Endor, Forest Moon of Endor, yeah, that's something.
Yeah, I like Battle of Endor. Yeah, I'm thinking of Battle of Hoth, because that's in
Empire.
That's in Empire.
That's the one you're supposed to like.
That's the one I'm supposed to like the most, yeah. That's the one with the big twist.
My favourite is Attack of the Clones.
Is it really, yeah?
No.
It's got some good stuff.
It's my least favourite.
Is that your least favourite one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it's worse than Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think Revenge of the Sith was probably the only one of their drug trilogy that's an okay film in its own right, you know.
Even then, though, I didn't think it was very good.
I don't know. I think the end is really good. It builds up to something, and then the big climatic battle is really good. And yeah, when he turns into Darth Vader, obviously we're assuming you've all seen this. The readers, we're assuming you guys have seen Star Wars. We don't have to. In fact, if you're one of these people who hasn't seen Star Wars, it's almost like a badge of honor that you wear these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how to swim.
Yeah, I don't have any tattoos, which is still not that common, I guess. But yeah, so. We both love Star Wars. Who's your favourite character in Star Wars?
I guess Han Solo.
Yeah,
I know. It's like I have to say something else because you said that Jedi was your favourite.
Looks a bit whiny in the first one, and Obi-Wan's barely in the films at all.
Yeah, he left an impression though, eh? It's like
he left an impression, definitely. Still excellent. I mean, obviously we love Star Wars. We love all the Star Wars video games, or some of them. And
I don't know how many Star Wars video games I've loved.
The GameCube one and Battlefront.
The GameCube one.
Battlefront's supposed to be good.
Which GameCube one?
Rogue Leader.
Oh, right, those ones. Yeah, and Rogue Squadron and N64.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron and N64 was really good. Yeah,
they were decent games. They were good games.
And the ones on the SNES are okay.
Was there a Sex and the City video game?
Oh, moving on. Yes, probably there was. Yeah, there would have been some sort of a PC game sort of thing. I know they had a Desperate Housewives game, so I'm guessing.
Really?
Probably, but yeah, nothing of note. But see, Star Wars never had a TV series. Actually, cartoon series, I suppose. But Sex and the City did.
And it had a movie franchise.
2 movies? Yes.
It's a franchise.
So what's Sex and the City about? We didn't really even say what Star Wars is about. Don't have to. What's Sex and the City about?
It's about a group of lady friends.
Lady friends, yeah.
And they have sexual relations and they talk about them with their lady friends.
Right, they have sexual relations with men, largely. And they kind of meet up and... I mean, it's not just like an HBO show which is gimmicky where these women just kind of come to the start and talk about shagging guys. It's not really like that. It's about a writer, Carrie Bradshaw. Yeah, she writes about sex in the city. I've just got that. She's just got that. And she's got these like 3 friends who she leeches personal information off and then writes about it. And I guess they know she does that.
They must read her column.
They must read her column, yeah. So she's like the single lady, but she's like got lots of boyfriends all the different times. It sounds masochistic, not masochistic, but misogynistic. Like, that's totally fine with how she lives her life. All of them. There's Charlotte, the kind of pretty one who's kind of a bit more uptight, which seems weird to me. She's always outraged by what the other girls are saying, but she sits there with them all the time and listens to what they're saying. Like, she knows them. She knows what they get up to. Why is she always so surprised? You know, she'll go, Samantha, you can't say blowjob. And Samantha's like, what?
So who's your favourite character in Sex and the City?
Ugh, Samantha.
Yeah, it's going to be Samantha, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So there's Samantha, who's like the older one, who's a bit of a slutbag, and there's Ginger Spice, who is not very pretty, and she's a lawyer, and she's a bit more uptight, or a bit more mean, I guess.
Which Sex and the City girl are you?
Probably Carrie. Because I don't. I
Because
don't.
you write about other people's
No,
sex
because
lives.
I don't take my bra off during sex,
Alright.
just like her. Okay, so we've just given you guys a crash course in Star Wars and Sex and the City. You're now experts in both franchises, so you're well prepared for what's to come.
So yeah, we've each written stories this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
About Star Wars and Sex and the City.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any trouble writing your story?
No, I guess.
Just no.
I don't really have much memory of writing it. I'm just going to have to be surprised when I read it.
Alright, my story is called Sex and the City and Star Wars. Sex and the City. It's Sex and the City, or is it Sex in the City? Sex and the City.
Sex and the City. Sex in the City. Sex in the City.
See, you always make fun of people who get
Fuck,
that
I'm
wrong.
actually not sure now.
I've written Sex and the City and Star Wars.
I think it's Sex in the City.
I think it's Sex and the City.
Sex in the City.
I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not the one that's wrong.
Sex and the City. Sex and the City. Sex and the City. Do you like Sex in the City? Yeah. No, it's a great movie.
Well, my story is called Sex and the City.
What were we calling it at the start of the podcast? What were we calling it then?
I think you were saying Sex in the City, and I was saying Sex and the City. It's Sex and the City.
I think it's Sex in the City. My story is going to be based on Sex in the City. Yours is going to be based on Sex and the City.
And Star Wars.
It's definitely Sex in the City.
So my story is called Sex and the City and Star Wars. Sometimes sex is like a blaster. It's dick-shaped and you put it inside you. But sometimes sex is more like a speeder bike. It's dick-shaped and you put it inside you. There, that'll do for my column in magazine this week, said Carrie to herself, perfectly aware of how little effort she was putting into her writing. But it didn't matter. People liked her writing because it was the year Glizglorp 73, and they didn't have the same hang-ups about sex that they used to, and would overcompensate almost. It was exactly like Channel 4 in the 90s. Which is when and where Sex and the City aired, which explains a lot. Carrie, remembering nursery rhymes from her childhood, saved her document, attached it to an email for her editor, and shut down her computer properly. The world of Star Wars is so technologically advanced that their nursery rhymes usually revolved around proper personal computer use and protocol.
So we are establishing we're in the world of Star Wars.
That's
here.
what that joke's there for you.
Yeah,
just to
good-
say.
good to know that.
It's Carrie, but she's in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's that. I was confused earlier.
She headed out for a night of Tatooinean debauchery with her best friends, Samantha, Charlotte, and Mandy Fett. Oh, Carrie, you look divine, said Samantha as Carrie entered the cafe. I could just roll you up into a dildo and use you as such. Carrie didn't bat an eyelid. Samantha said some seriously outlandish stuff, especially about Darth Vader. Man, the shit she would say about Darth Vader. I wonder if his dick is as hard and black as his body. I wonder if his dick is all burnt up and scabby. She was disgusting. I wonder if Darth Vader even has a dick, and I bet it's massive, said Samantha without so much as a pause after that dildo line, which just makes it more fucked up.
It would be massive though, let's be honest.
Yeah, but is it all burnt up?
I don't
Does
know,
he still
but
have
it's
it?
definitely massive, but Anakin Skywalker had a tiny penis, but Darth
got
Vader has
bigger.
a massive penis. Yeah, that's all.
And they didn't add any penis to him.
It just grew.
Got really
it just
big.
got bigger. It used to force the dark side.
Oh, yeah. My husband Boba gave me the business last night, and no mistake, said Mandy Fett, desperately trying to fit in, as usual. So what's the plan for tonight? Asked Carrie. I know a great new place. Really exclusive, great music, tons of cock. Diagonal wipe. Jabba's palace, cried Carrie, now standing outside Jabba's palace along with her group of friends. This has literally been here for like 100 years. How is this a great new place? Okay, I lied about how new it was, but I was telling the truth about the amount of cock. There is literally a ton of cock in there. My husband is literally Boba Fett, chimed in Mandy. Fine, we'll trawl for schlong here for now, protested Carrie, but I don't want to spend the whole night avoiding eye contact with that weird tentacle head guy. He freaks me the fuck out.
He freaks me out too. Yeah, no, he does. The guy with the sharp teeth
Yeah.
and the red eyes
Yeah.
and the weird tentacle ball sack in his head. Yeah, he freaks me right out. He's scary looking.
He freaks you out? You should try having those tentacles inside you, said Samantha. She turned to Mandy Fett. That's what giving head means to them. Imagine my surprise.
Oh, Jesus.
Because it is like giving head.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just, oh, Jesus.
The inside of Jabba's palace was dingy, dirty, and dangerous. But in a sexual way. It was actually relatively clean, and they had all their safety certificates up to date and everything. The ladies ordered their drinks and sat at a booth. So, I was up in the Forest Moon of Endor last night, started Samantha, just boning my way through an entire Ewok camp. I just boned my way through that thing like it was the last day of school. Now, those Ewoks are insatiable, as everyone knows, but after last night's little teddy bear's picnic, I left every last one of those cute cuddly guys satisfied. There wasn't a dry eye in the house, not after the gushing I gave their tiny faces. But if they don't like it, they shouldn't eat puss so good.
Oh my god.
Samantha cockily
You've captured her so well as well.
Samantha cockily tongued her elderly cheek. Mandy Fett vomited. Even by Samantha's standards, that story was rough. Everyone sat around uncomfortably as Samantha just continued her bitchy know-it-all cheek tonguing. Finally, a friendly voice broke the uncomfortable silence. "Hello, darling. It was Boba Fett." He put his arm around Mandy Fett and kissed her cheek. "What are you lovely ladies up to tonight?" "Oh, just a girls' night out, honey bunch," replied Mandy Fett lovingly. "Well, I hope you all behave yourselves. Ha ha ha." "What are you here for?" Sorry.
Where's his Maori accent?
Oh, he's not Maori in my version of the story.
Oh, right, okay, makes sense.
It's just based on the original ones. He did kind of have a Maori accent in the originals, or did they add that in?
I don't think he really spoke. Yeah, they probably added that in. They all added in lots of stuff. Bad stuff.
"What are you here for, Boba Fett?" asked Carrie. "I just brought in a big bounty for Jabba the Hutt."
Name dropping.
"Wow, you're hitting the big time," said Samantha, impressed. "Who was the bounty?" "It was only Han fucking Solo," claimed Boba proudly. "Handsome Han Solo?" cried Samantha, impressed. "Handsome Han Solo? That's a little tame for Samantha," thought Carrie. "Big swinging dick jizz factory handsome Han Solo," Samantha continued. "Ah, that's better."
She's so fucked up.
Yeah, that guy," said Boba Fett, not as used to Samantha's aging potty mouth. "Is he dead, dear?" asked Boba's loving wife Mandy. "Nah, just frozen in carbonite. You know Jabba." "Ah, that sucks." Samantha was genuinely upset. I had always dreamed I would get to bang him on the bridge of the Millennium Falcon one day, and we'd do that bit from the Titanic, with the hand on the steamy window. But, you know, with spunk. Or blood or both.
No. Please continue.
"Well, I better get back to it," said Boba, finally breaking yet another awkward silence which followed Samantha's graphic discourse. "Don't get in too much trouble, ladies." He kissed his wife again and left. "I would fuck his brains out, even if he had Wookiee AIDS," said Samantha, checking out his bounty hunter ass as he walked away.
Is Wookiee AIDS any different to human AIDS?
Hairier.
Oh, of course.
I don't mean, like, hair. I mean, it's riskier.
It's more perilous.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I would have said more perilous.
Mandy Fett laughed it off awkwardly. "Can you imagine a freeway of him and Han Solo?" continued Samantha. "Especially with Han's rock-hard, carbonite-frozen penis. I'd end up snapping that bad boy off and strap-on pegging Boba till he was red raw." A single tear rolled down Mandy's cheek.
Why'd you call her Mandy and not Charlotte?
Why? Who's to say Charlotte was married to Boba Fett?
I don't know.
I want to put some
She's
characters
the one
in
that
the
got
Star
married the most in the show.
Alright. As the night went on, Jabba had wheeled Han Solo's frozen old carcass out to show all the revellers. He said some stuff, but it was in a weird language, so there's no point in repeating it. "Wow, Jabba's pretty damn proud of his Han Solo, isn't he?" said Carrie. They could understand him. Wouldn't you be? Wouldn't you be? Asked Samantha. And you could tell she meant, like, for weird sexual reasons, like pride was now a fetish or something. As Jabba showed off his genuine Han Solo, Samantha got up. "I'm just going to go powder my nose," she said as she headed off to the bathroom. "Is it just me, or has she gotten worse?" asked Mandy. I think she's just always been awful," replied Carrie. The 3 remaining women got up to dance as there was some of that going on. Over the course of the night, there had been some kind of incident. Carrie had heard some juicy gossip about some people trying to steal Jabba's new frozen Han Solo. The details were really thin, but Mandy had got wind that it might be Han's ex-GF. All this meant that Jabba was going to crack out his rancor.
Is that a euphemism?
For what?
Well, it's your story. For anything, it just sounds euphemistic.
He's going to crack out his rancor.
Well, wait, yeah. Samantha's carrying on.
That's his wee friend.
Oh, right, okay.
He's just going to crack him out. Jabba has all the best stuff. A rancor, a frozen Han Solo. Man, what a guy, gushed Boba Fett to Mandy. She was pleased as she had bought him a rancor for their anniversary next week, and he was going to love it. Something, 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 said Jabba. Oh, he's going to throw that guy who snuck into the rancor pit now, said Mandy. Something, 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 ha, ha, ha. To be eaten alive. Mandy, barked Carrie. I can hear him. Stop repeating everything he says. Jabba reached his chubby slime nub to the trapdoor lever and pulled. The stranger fell in, and the crowd gathered around the lip of the rancor pit to watch him be devoured. The noise was unbearable. The monstrous crying of a beast in pain. Carrie pushed her way past the shocked onlookers to get a glimpse of what could possibly cause such a horrific cry. That was a mouthful. Mm-hmm. She looked deep into the pit, the noise unbearable. "Oh, hey, Carrie," screeched a nude Samantha as she straddled the thrashing rancor. I had an itch about 14 inches in that I'm finally getting scratched.
So she's fucking a rancor, that's what she's doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
The rancor continued its horrific howling as it tried desperately to remove Samantha, but she had that poor guy in a vice grip, grinding up and down. The stranger sat, rocking, curled up in the corner of the pit, with the vacant stare of a mind that was now ruined.
I'm picturing it now.
And I know what you're thinking. What about that guy that cried when the rancor died? Surely he would be trying to protect his rancor pal. Samantha had already had sex with him, and he was left a mangled, bloody pulp on the floor in the other room. Jabba cried out in anguish. Someone having sexual relations with a rancor in your care was considered a great insult and embarrassment on Tatooine. Also, the Hutts were historically notorious for letting people fuck their rancors, and Jabba was really trying to change the family's reputation. "Something, something, something," he said furiously. And if Mandy was still translating, you'd know that he'd ordered his pig guard boys to capture Samantha. She put up a hell of a fight, managing to menage a menagerie of those manky mans before finally being captured. Do you like that one?
Oh, some good alliteration skills there, man.
Her punishment was to wear a gold bikini and be chained up by Jabba's side. Samantha was quite a sight in her new attire, her age-old breasts like a pair of socks, around half filled with flour, loosely sitting, stagnating inside the golden cups. Her inner thigh skin, loose yet leathery from many, many years of friction, flopped firmly around the gusset of her bottoms. "Should we do something to help her?" asked Mandy. "Nah, I think she'll be alright," replied Carrie, as Samantha choked herself with the chain that bound her to Jabba's side and fingered herself incredibly violently. "During the panic, I was able to get you on board the Millennium Falcon and defrost you, Han," explained Princess Leia to a newly conscious and wet Han Solo. But Luke didn't make it. She looked over to a curled-up, brain-dead Luke Skywalker, now rocking in the corner of the bridge of the Millennium Falcon. Han tried to talk. "Save your energy, you're weak from the defrosting process," said Leia. "I'll make you some space soup." You know, the Heinz ones with the little spaceships in them that you like. She kissed him on the forehead and left. Han closed his eyes and relaxed, happy to be back on board his beloved spaceship. But suddenly, one of those hidden compartments opens up, and Samantha crawls out and looks at the camera as it freeze frames, and she has these yellow-ass werewolf eyes, and there's a laugh like, "Ah ha 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 ha." The end.
Oh my god. Very abrupt ending. Very good ending. Very Twilight Zone with the gremlin turning at the camera, which is what essentially happened.
It was Thriller.
He's literally a gremlin in the...
Oh, that one. No, I was doing Thriller.
Alright.
The yellow-ass werewolf eyes.
I thought it was a gremlin
I made the
coming.
laugh probably wasn't good enough. Do the Thriller laugh and I'll let it your one.
No, I like it. I like the way you did it, man. That's good. What I love about that story is that you were basically telling the story of Jedi, Return of the Jedi. You were just the events were
just they were happening.
On.
They were going on.
They could have been in the story. You could have George Lucas could have edited those characters in. Yeah. They could have been
except for the bit where Luke Skywalker getting.
That's exactly where it changed. When you see that Luke's been violated, and then she comes out and she's going to attack Han, and you're just thinking.
So the whole the point where everything changed was Samantha fucking the Rancor.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, I actually thought that maybe that was like a pre-theater.
Yeah.
Like she went out and did that, and they had their fun. She got off, she got redressed. They cleaned the Rancor up, and then brought Luke came in, and then he fought the Rancor. So that's how I pictured that up until the end. So that's nice. Actually, that's probably the first story that you've done, that either of us have done, where you're pretty much following the story of something, just adding.
Until I ruin it.
Well, but you kind of end it on a kicker. It's good. I can totally picture. I could picture too much of that story. It was pretty. I think you're not doing Samantha any justice either when you described her naked body. She looked okay, especially in the earlier seasons.
No, but it's like a caricature.
Oh, okay, yeah. The caricature of her is that she's decrepit. I get that. She is nearly 60 now, I think.
Yeah.
Good on her.
Good on her. Good on you, Kim Cattrall.
Good on you, Kim Cattrall. You were beautiful in Mannequin.
I was gonna say I liked you in Mannequin.
Yeah, very beautiful in that. And Police Academy. And I don't mean you look beautiful. You're acting in that. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, Oscar-worthy.
Oscar-worthy. Beautiful Oscar-worthy acting. And the Star Wars thing, again, I like that. I like that you had the real characters, and you did a really good job of replicating the characters inside City. Your Samantha was great. Very lusty.
Mandy Fett.
I think your Samantha was based heavily on that small ident she used to do on the Paramount Comedy Channel, wasn't it? Where she used to say, the city, the sex, and the city. It was like she'd had a stroke. You based yours entirely on that, didn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I thought, because she was particularly Samantha-esque in that. She was doing an impression of
It's
Samantha.
like the director was going, no, more Samantha, more Samantha.
More Samantha, you know. Totally. So yeah, very, very impressive, very well written, very, very funny. I love it when you do sci-fi, man. It's really good. The sci-fi stuff is good. It's very funny.
Did you do sci-fi?
You'll find out in a minute, I guess, because I need to think about it. Yeah, so you'll find out in a minute. Phone's on in the site, everything's good.
Again, you just looked over to a phone that is not on.
It's on, Ali. You're such a fucking dick. It's behind something. How can you even see it?
Because, like,
How can you see it, man?
I can still see, like, 5% of it.
No, it's not written on that 5%.
Alright, you can still have 5% of the screen is off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, tell me your story, man.
Okay. Mine is called Darth Maul Takes Manhattan. Alright? And essentially, Darth Maul... do I always start with the word essentially?
I think
Do I always do
every
that?
paragraph is essentially
So, like, let's get down to brass tacks, right? At the end of the day, like, this is the author. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, reader. Okay? Like, just between us, mate. You know, you took the time to pick up my literature and you're reading it. So just between us, let's cut the shit, okay? Let's just cut the shit. Let's not dance around it anymore. None of this flirting, okay? I'm going to tell you what happened, who did it, and what happened. That's all I'm going to tell you. The rest of that shit, it's all made up. That's why this book that you purchased for $6.99 is only 13 pages long. That's all you need. So anyway, that's my message to the world. I have a different writing style, that's all. So anyway, essentially, note that I used the same word twice, thus proving that I've written this story.
Fair enough, yeah. You got
Even
me
though
there.
I say essentially every week, and if I hadn't been writing
That's a
them.
good point, yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, Darth Maul, he's going by the name Jonas, right? Basically, he's living in New York. Long story. Now, he's the same Darth Maul from Star Wars. Do you remember we loved him loads in Star Wars, even though that movie sucked. We loved him in it because he looked brilliant,
Yeah, he
and
was
he
great.
didn't speak much, and he wore the black and he had the cool lightsaber. So basically, when we'll go back. We'll call this the prologue, right? I'll go back. I missed the prologue, right? So brilliant scene in End of Phantom Menace where Darth Maul is fighting off against Qui-Gon Jinn and young Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor, and they're opening and shutting the shutters so they can't both fight him at the same time all the time, and it's that frustrating moment when they're waiting for no one knows why these things are going up and down anyway. It's not useful, it's not helpful to anyone, but you know, there's no way of overriding it.
Maybe it's just like wee cleaning droids are going past and the door has to open for them.
It's probably something minor that's doing it. It's
Yeah.
a miniature error, if anything. But anyway, they're doing that. But they finally both take him on. Both take him on, and they slice him in two, and he goes hurtling down that
In twain, even.
in twain. Yeah, in twain. Brilliantly put. They cut him into two parts, and he is falling down this shaft. And you know what you see in the movie: just two halves of this cool character bouncing around, right? And see as they bounce around, just at one point the two halves bounce back together again, and they fuse because, well, what do you know about his? What do you know? How do you know he can't do that? How the fuck do you know he can't do that?
I don't.
We know nothing about Darth Maul except me, because I know all about him because he's my main character in my story, alright, bitch? So basically, when the two parts, and this might not have happened, it's just luck. They were banging off. You see it in the movie. The sides banging off, and he fuses back together, and he's fine suddenly, and he falls for miles. He can also breathe in a vacuum, and he can break his lightsaber in half and like use it like skis to go through space. Not the most dignified way of travel. It's just how it works. I don't know the science. I know you're thinking you break it in half and hold it like two jet packs and let it fly behind you like rockets. You have to ski through space, and you have to put your legs out straight like you're on skis and actually ski.
Great image.
It's a good image, but even Darth Maul, who's the coolest cat in the universe, he knows, he's like, oh God, wherever I'm going, I hope I get there soon because I look like a fucking dick right now. He's a bit embarrassed, but picture the scene. He's just skiing through space, wondering what will happen, and I'm just this minute realizing, like, I'm obviously going to get him onto Earth in a second, so he can be in New York and mingle with the Sex and the City girls, right?
This is the prologue.
Yeah, this prologue. But I'm just thinking, like, okay, galaxy far, far, far away, a long time ago. Wormhole. I've been researching these things lately. Black hole, and he thinks, you know what? I need to up my game here. I look like a fucking prick doing this skiing thing, so I'm going to do one big, strong ski and then let go and fly into that wormhole, and I'm going to find that black hole that might be connected to a wormhole. I think that's how it works. And I will just see who's toughest. And he goes in and he says, you know what, this is the most I've ever spoken. In that movie, I only said like a couple of words. It was Peter Serafinowicz that did my voice, he says in my story. And now I'm going towards this black hole, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to prove my worth and really fucking take this thing on, and whatever's in there, I'm going to beat the shit out of it, and I'll call it my home, and I'll become the king of wherever it is, and if that includes getting crushed into oblivion, then I will hold my breath and be fine. So he goes into this black hole where, you know, black hole light can't escape, and gravity is everything. So he comes out the other side fine, just floating in our solar system. That's where it took him to, and he's just floating down. And he's like, "All right, okay, I'm here," but he doesn't say that. He thinks it because he's lost his voice. His voice is the only thing that got left in the black hole, and he's really pissed off about it.
Oh man.
Yeah, so he skis to Earth. He's like, "Oh, fine, I see a planet there. It looks green and
He's
blue."
saying it, is he?
Yep, he's thinking that. From now on, it's all a first person thinking in his head, right? He's like, "Oh, there's Earth. It's bloody annoying I can't speak." Then again, I haven't actually tried to speak yet because I'm in the vacuum. Everything I've said up to this point has been in my head. So he doesn't even know he's lost his voice yet.
He said earlier that he said more than he said in the other movies.
He's been thinking a lot in his
He
head.
thought
Going,
more.
I don't think this much normally. I just do what I'm told. I'm thinking loads right now. I guess because the Emperor's not there to tell me what to do. I'm just thinking loads and loads. Actually, was he Count Dooku's
Yeah, I think so.
apprentice?
Oh no, yeah, no, I think it was the Emperor, wasn't it? I don't fucking know. It was Phantom Menace.
Was the Emperor yet? Oh, he was always the Emperor, wasn't he?
You
Like we said, viewers, readers, lots of research. I mean. So he skis towards Earth and he crash lands in New York in the sort of mid-90s, and he lands right in the middle of New York, and he's like, right, okay, can't talk, horns all over my face, red and black face paint or body skin colour. I'm pretty short, but I look tough. I'm going to walk around New York for a while with my thing. And it's a sign that says New York. I was right, it's New York. This is a weird guess. Because New York does sound like it could be somewhere in Star Wars, I guess, why not? He goes, this isn't most likely, or Tatooine, or Hoth, or, right, there's like the 9 planets that I know. My home planet is called, actually I was going to make one up, but it probably is one. So he walks around going, right, well this is not great, but I'll stick out like a sore thumb. Guess what? It's New York. He fucking doesn't. People don't even give him a second look. He just looks crazy and weird, and that's great. He comes across Samantha, who goes, "Oh my god, I love fucking guys from Star Wars. I do it all the time. I fucked a Rancor the other day." Swear to God, it's a coincidence, man. Total coincidence.
I don't believe it. How could you possibly have...
Well, we do a Sex and City Star Wars crossover, and you don't have Samantha fucking a Rancor. I don't see how it can be done, quite honestly. All right,
Fair point.
You could a million monkeys for a million years, or infinity. It would have to be 5 years. A million monkey, give them 5 years, they will write that same scenario. And they won't write any of Shakespeare because it's too
That's
busy.
like rule 1 of like writing crossover fanfiction.
That is the rule, yeah. So she shouts a Rancor, she sees Darth Maul and goes, "Oh my god, I love Darth Maul. I love people from Star Wars." Now, at this point, he's thinking, not saying, right, hang on a minute, she's heard of me, maybe people know of my exploits. Then he looks up on the wall and sees a poster. It's for like that movie, The Maze Runner, no one cares about it, so he looks away. Then he sees a bus with his face on it. And he's like, "What the fuck? This is just like that thing Willie talked about last week. My face is on a bus." And it splashes shampoo all over Carrie, and he looks around and goes, "Oh, the puddles are made of shampoo." He can't explain it, so he goes over to Samantha and says nothing, but he writes on paper, I know all the secrets to sex. If you just answer all my questions quickly." And he goes, "Oh, this is really annoying. I'm writing this shit down and it's going to take forever. I've got so many things I need to discuss with you. You're the first human being I've seen. Judging by your conduct thus far," he turns over the page, you're clearly not maybe the best candidate to explain to me the origins of your planet and who your leaders are and everything. I mean, you're literally doing poppers as I'm speaking to you right now, and you don't seem to be paying attention to me anymore." But he gives her a wee nudge and goes, "Right, I'm writing this on newspaper. I can't even see what I've written. Can you understand what I've written?" He writes, and she looks at him and goes, "You show me a newspaper with squiggles on it, mate. What's that about?" And he goes, "God, we probably don't even speak the same language." He goes, "Because I recognise the word New York, but it might be one of those words like okay in Japanese. I also know about Japan, obviously." So he walks into a shop. He buys a voice box. He goes into a shop that sells your voice back. Okay, and he gives the guy £100. He saw a beggar, had 100 quid in his wallet, in his basket. He took the 100 quid, and Samantha goes, "Baby, it's fine. Everyone takes money off beggars in New York." He goes, "I thought they would." So he gives the guy 100 quid. Voice just comes back, gets the voice back, and he's like, "Right, now I can
Why
talk."
did you write the voice out and then what if you're just going to bring it back there?
It's just misdirection, isn't it? Because there's so
good.
much bigger things happening. So he sort of goes, "Oh, you know what? Samantha, that's your name, isn't it?" She goes, "Yeah, baby, but you can call me anything you want." He goes, "Okay, fucking douche face then." And she goes, "Oh, well, yeah, I've not been called that in a while." And this guy walks past and goes, "Hey, douche face." and he goes, "Wow, that's an amazing coincidence. That guy just called you douche face." And he goes, "No, everyone in New York calls each other douche face all the time. Is this what we call each other?" He goes, "You know what? That sounds kind of like New York." Again, he knows nothing about New York. He's now getting cocky.
Right.
So says, "So you said you knew all the secrets to sex?" And he goes, "You said you couldn't read that right." And she goes, "Oh yeah, neither I could. But you said it now." And he goes, "No, I haven't said it yet." She goes, "Are you going to say it or not?" He goes, "Yeah, it's all the secrets to sex." Whatever. Jesus Christ. But you know what, Samantha? You know what I'm really thinking? I'm thinking I'm getting lonely, and there's not enough Star Warsy types characters for me to mix with. I'm getting a bit lonely about that. And she goes, well, I feel the same way. There's not enough Sex and the City like characters for me to mix with. So hold on a second. Oh look, here comes Carrie. Well, she was already here. She's covered in shampoo. And he goes, yeah, that's the first question I had. What's the deal with the shampoo? And she goes, what do you mean? He goes, why are all the puddles shampoo? And she goes, oh darling, there's no water on this planet. It's just shampoo. He goes, that's why your hair's so clean. And she goes, yeah, but also matted with shampoo. I mean, essentially everything's covered in shampoo. People die every day because shampoo's poisonous. He goes, what do you drink? She goes, shampoo, it's all we have. And he goes, what's your lifespan? It's short. I was born this morning. I have an STD. I'll live to be 10 if I'm lucky. He goes, what, 10 years? You look so old. She goes, it's a shampoo. It ages us horribly. Pregnant women drinking shampoo, it's terrible. He goes, I'm totally off topic here. I need to somehow get back to what I'm about. Right, I'm on Earth. I'm in New York with you and hello, Carrie. She goes, hi. Do you have any sexual exploitation stories to tell me that I'll just tell my readers? And he goes, no. He goes, how's Aiden? She goes, Aiden was ages ago. And he goes, alright, it's the only one I know. I can remember. Oh, Big. Yes. How's Big? And she goes, oh, I'm not talking about Big right now. And Charlotte goes, oh, Carrie, you're never talking about Big. And he goes, seriously, guys, World of Shampoo, Darth Maul, I know everything about you guys inexplicably, and you're talking about Big. You brought him up. I did, said Darth Maul. I brought him up. That's bad. And Samantha then at that point goes, oh, I could really use a dildo right now. And he goes, well, you know what, I've got a lightsaber. And she goes, I don't even care what it is. Do it right now. Do it to me. So he penetrates her with the lightsaber. Yeah, well, she dies instantly. It's horrible.
Oh my god!
No, it's horrible, man. It's
made and shit.
It's made of plasma. It just goes right
oh my god.
in there. Yeah. She died with a smile on her face until the end of the lightsaber burnt her face in half. It came right through her, man. It's like a hot knife through butter. It's not even funny. Carrie and Samantha and Miranda shows up. Yeah, Miranda goes, oh, I'm a lawyer. I can sue you for that. And he goes, just a random lawyer can come up to a crime and sue you for that. She goes, yeah, this is New York. He goes, right, well, okay. So he runs her through as well.
Right.
And then he runs Carrie through, and Carrie's lying there dying. Well, she's in pieces, but she's like, oh, with my final breath, I'm going to have to ask, what did I do exactly? I barely contributed to this. And he goes, yeah, but you're just you're the one I hate the most, quite honestly. You're the one everyone hates the most. You think you're the good one, but you're the bad one. And you never take your bra off during sex. And he finishes off her face, so she can't speak anymore. and then Charlotte's left there going, I suppose you're going to kill me now? And he goes, you know what? I would, but that joke that Kyle MacLachlan played on you where he put the cardboard cutout baby because you wanted a baby, dude. Even see back on Danto Wonk where I lived, that we all thought that was harsh. She's like, so you watched Sex and the City? He goes, no, I didn't. Stop annoying me. Kills her. She annoyed the hell out of him. He's really pissed off. He thinks this weird world is just made of shampoo and everything, and I don't like it. I'm gonna go walking about. And he walks down to a local shop and he goes, if anything in this world reminds me of home, it has to be the Jar Jar Binks sitting there. Jar Jar Binks, he reminds me of home. And Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, they remind me of home as well. And he goes, hey Luke, and Luke goes, oh, it's Darth Maul, I thought you were killed like 30 years ago. And he goes, oh, that's right, yeah, totally different movie, we've never met before. Han Solo goes, we've met. And he goes, the audiences expect us to say that, we have met, me and Han Solo have met, we were roommates a long time ago. And Princess Leia, she comes in and goes, did you just kill those girls? And he goes, yeah. She goes, good on you, mate. They're just fucking dicks. And everyone goes, yeah, generally they're dicks. And everyone else in New York just goes about their business. And then Darth Maul finally says, this place sucks. And he skis to Lanzarote and has a holiday there, just by himself. Has a nice time. He drinks nice cocktails and has a good time with Jar Jar Binks. He's everywhere. This world has shampoo and a Jar Jar Binks always in your line of sight. No matter which direction you look, there will be a Jar Jar Binks in your line of sight. It's like, where's Wally? But with Jar Jar Binks. Only it's not hard to find him. He's really obvious. The end. Oh, Jesus, fuck.
Oh my god,
my most poorly written story yet.
I very much enjoyed that. I loved skiing across space and time.
I think that would look funny.
It's a great image, it's really good.
Because you could see, like, Darth Maul is such a badass. Do you think, if that was his only way of getting through space and time, do you think I think he still wouldn't do it.
I'm gonna get a fucking badass spaceship and Darth Maul.
It reminds me of a guy I went to school with who was so self-conscious about how he looked. He was such a tough guy, and he was doing the high jump in school and he was really close to winning, but he knocked over the bar because his t-shirt was way too baggy and it pulled it down, and the PE teacher said to him, just take your t-shirt off, put a vest on, you'll get over it, no problem. And he's like, no, I'm just gonna have to jump higher then, aren't I? And I just remember thinking, dude, he could have gone to the Olympics. Probably not, but yeah, probably not. It was in Ali, by the way. Oh, you have to cut that idea. Yeah.
No, don't have to, but
yeah, you probably should. Yeah, a bit.
No, I like that. It was good. I liked your mix. It was good because Sex and the City character in Star Wars. You did.
I felt like I was just throwing things at the page there. I feel like I was just throwing things there now because it was all over the place. But you know, I stuck to my guns. The origin was solid. I think Darth Maul's coming together literally worked really well, and everything else was just, you know, garbage.
Well, that's our stories for another week.
Yeah, cannot believe survived another one. That's episode 6 in the bag.
Yes.
Wow.
Reaching the end of the series.
Well, the happy. We're at the point that the universe is at now in its life cycle, if you believe the 4 YouTube documentaries that I watched on the subject.
You're talking non-stop about these fucking YouTube documentaries you watched.
I'm a learned man.
You fit wormholes in your story. When did you write that story?
Just after I learned about wormholes.
Fuck, you got me again.
Didn't really learn that much. I didn't explain them very well.
No,
but theoretically, you go through a black hole, it could be connected to a wormhole, and it could put you in another place in space and time. Which is the only thing that you can do if you want to get Darth Maul on Earth. I don't see any way of doing it. But for using the Force, maybe? Is the Force...
Or a spaceship, really. A fucking spaceship.
Yeah, but do they have spaceships that can travel? I know that the Falcon has, like, hyperdrive or hyperspace or something.
And I know what you're saying, like, but it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So
You
by
know,
the time
one thing you didn't consider, I was watching Battlestar Galactica recently. They have faster than light drives, so that basically let them teleport from one side of the universe to another.
Yeah.
We should do that. We should just do that. I mean, that seems like the perfect solution. That solves all.
I know, I agree. Every time I watch
Just
a
do
show,
that.
I'm like, just do that.
Okay, yeah.
This week.
Respectability. That's what we should talk about. How respectable were we? Respectful were we of our?
Of the franchises.
Yeah.
Of the IP what we discussed.
Yes.
I think we were both very respectful. I don't think any character was out of place or did something that we wouldn't do normally.
I've got to be honest. I think maybe I go through a phase of my stories of just sort of name dropping people in it to make it seem like. But you always write a more what's the word for better that doesn't make it sound like I'm conceding that yours are better. just a more better story. Whereas I tend to use more. I used more characters in Sex and the City than you did.
Yeah, I only used 3, and not only that, but I mentioned Charlotte, but she never spoke once. She was with them.
Oh, was she?
She never
All right.
spoke
I thought
that was deliberate.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know why.
Well, what about
Mandy Fett.
So she's another character
She's from Star Wars. She's Boba Fett's wife.
in Star Wars.
In this Star Wars.
All right. Okay. All right. That's fine. I mentioned some boyfriends, but I almost forgot who Big was while I was writing it, obviously, and then I had to pretend I forgot when I was reading it because
Right.
it's a performance as much as anything. But yeah, I mean, Samantha is known as the slutty one, but we both, I suppose, took that to a bit of an extreme.
Yeah. No. Just maybe like we're pushing it a little bit, but I don't think it's going to upset any fans. I think they're going to be like, "Oh, guys, you didn't push Samantha
I'm not
far enough."
convinced that Samantha, even in the movies where she's appalling, would shag a Rancor.
Well, agree to disagree.
Okay, let's agree to disagree on that. As far as Star Wars, I mean, you know, Darth Maul probably
I
is the
think
greatest Star Wars
after
character.
episode 1 and episode 2 and episode 3 and all the re-releases and rehashes, I think they're kind of like, just do whatever you want now, I don't fucking care anymore.
Well, that's actually not the case because of the new movies that are getting made and the fact that Disney bought Lucasfilm and they're doing a whole new franchise and everything. A lot of the previous novels and spin-off stuff has been made non-canon. So what I ask you is, will they let this be canon?
I wonder if this is canon, if it's like official.
Well, your story could be canon. It'd have to,
But not for Star Wars, just for Sex and the City.
No, I mean, if Luke recovers pretty quickly and she doesn't really hurt Han Solo too much and she says her goodbyes, thank you, and she leaves, and then Leia comes on and they go about their business, it could just be a deleted scene, couldn't it?
I guess so, yeah.
Do you think there'll be a fan backlash then? No.
Nah, I think we'll be fine this week.
So, that's the end of the episode.
Again.
And as ever, I have no recollection. I actually don't know what the next week's is. I never seem to know.
It is. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, well, yeah. Tell the readers.
Have you written the story yet? Or do you wait till I say and then you write it?
No, I always write after you say. I don't know what it is until you tell me.
Okay.
All right. Last week I'd known but I'd forgotten.
Right.
But that's the big one out of the way now. We can go back to more
Okay,
niche things.
this time it's Dexter's Lab and Doctor Who.
Wow. Really weird. Dexter's
Yeah.
Lab.
I think in terms of fan backlash and the backlash we get and the hate mail, Dexter's Lab will be fine, but Doctor Who, they're touchy fans.
They are touchy bastards. So both kind of sci-fi-ish.
A little bit, yeah.
Both are characters
It's
based
actually
on Earth
quite a
that can...
close mix.
Characters based on
Kinda
Earth that can go anywhere,
Yeah.
do anything.
It kind of seems like a crossover that could happen for reals. Here.
Dexter has unlimited scientific potential, and Doctor Who has unlimited scientific potential. It's actually quite interesting. Literally, Doctor Who and Dexter would be a great team.
Dexter's Lab could actually be a prequel to Doctor Who. If they just said, oh, by the way, Dexter's Lab, that's a prequel to Doctor Who.
It would just about work, yeah. He could build a TARDIS. And his bedroom's like the TARDIS.
I just change your voice.
Yeah, it looks like the TARDIS.
Oh, his bedroom is a TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
So I'm guessing people know what they are, but obviously Dexter's Lab, a little bit more niche. It's not been on for ages, and it was popular back in the day, like Johnny Bravo, Cartoon Network stuff, but it's not huge.
No, I know.
So that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Cool.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week for a couple of great stories about Doctor Who and Dexter's Lab.
Bye.